This is a new Bugatti Supersport 300 Plus. It is the fastest car in the world ever. And I'm gonna go for a spin in it. Oh yeah, this is actually happening.
Sorry, what's that? It's not gonna happen. Please, move over to the passenger.
Okay, so I'm not gonna get to drive this car, but I am still gonna get taken for a passenger ride in it. So, still very cool, Yeah, you can go drive it. He's a Bugatti engineer, he knows what he's doing. Now, before I actually go for a drive in this car, I'm going to tell you some facts about it. So, the body is slightly redesigned compared to the normal Chiron. You've got different aerodynamics here at the front, because obviously it needs to be able to do that 300 miles an hour and it wants less drag. A key thing are these vents here over the front wheels, which help let pressurised air out. Also, you've got redesigned magnesium wheels. You've also got uprated brakes. You're going to need those because you're doing 300 miles an hour in this car. The tyres have been specifically designed for this car because they have to be able to cope with 5,300 G. It means that little components such as the very small little dust caps actually end up weighing over 10 kilos when they're spinning at such high speed due to this car's amazing performance. Down the side, you've got some slightly different side skirts. Moving to the back, the engine is uprated over the normal Chiron. So it's the same 8-litre W12 quad turbo, but instead of 1,500 horsepower, it's got 1,600 horsepower. Still has the same 1,600 Newton meters of torque though. Now moving to the back, there's a lot more aero going on here. So it's a long tail, this car, and that is to help let it slip through the air as easy as possible. Got a big diffuser as well, so you don't get all dirty air slowing it down with too much drag. And noticeably, it looks different than the normal Chiron because you've got a slightly redesigned exhaust setup there. I don't know why they do it like that, but it looks kind of cool. You've still got a hydraulically activated rear wing, which actually alters depending on how fast you go. It is an amazing looking car. It's expensive too. If you want one of these, 3.5 million euros before tax. They're only going to make 30 of them. They're already sold out, obviously, and the customers who buy them will have their cars restricted, unfortunately, to 275 miles an hour. However, when they buy them, they are able to actually take it on VW's test track to do the full 300 if they want to, but they'll do that with a Bugatti engineer for safety. Anyway, enough chat about the car. It's time to go see what it's like. Okay, so we're just joking about, obviously. This is Christian May, an engineer for Bugatti, involved in the project for the Supersport 300 Plus. So we're actually at Nardo test facility in southern Italy. And is this the first time the Chiron Supersport has been here?
Yes.
I understand that I'm the first ever journalist to go in this car.
That's a fact, yes.
This is so exciting. Well, thank you very much for inviting me along. You're actually doing work, you're actually testing the car, aren't you? This is not just a pleasure ride for me.
It's part of my work, yes.
What you do today, you're going to be using the data in the production of this car.
It's an evaluation ride for collecting data for further evaluation and improvement.
This is actually the first time I've ever been in any Bugatti. I've never been in a Bugatti before, not a Veyron, not any old Bugatti, and it's the fastest ever Bugatti.
It's quite a big step from zero.
Straight in at the deep end, that's me. But just driving to the actual test track itself, this just feels like a normal car, really.
It is.
I'm surprised how small it is inside. It feels quite compact, doesn't it?
But we have a very large engine, and in between us is the gearbox.
Yeah, that's right. The gearbox is here, isn't it?
Yes.
Which helps with the weight distribution, doesn't it?
Yeah, of course.
And at the moment, that engine, it could just be, no offence, a 2-litre 4-cylinder.
That's what it's made for. To be as easy to drive as possible.
This interior isn't the final interior for the Supersport 300 Plus. It's not what the customers will have, is it?
Basically, it's still a development car, so we just put everything inside what's needed for driving, but it's not made for beauty.
The process that this car goes through in terms of its development, it's just very small little increments of improvement, isn't it?
Yes.
So that you can be sure that everything works perfectly.
It's not completely different from developing a standard serial production car, but we have to look at much more details, of course.
I'm used to reviewing Volkswagen Golfs, and just going over those bumps there, even though this car is capable of 300 miles an hour, it just went over them very smoothly.
Yeah, that's the big spread from the very comfortable riding car to the maximum speed. It's capable of doing both. That's the special thing about it.
So, fastest car accelerating 0 to 60 or 0 to 100 kilometers I've been in is a Tesla Model S Performance. Let's see what this is like.
You ready?
Yeah, I'm ready. Let's do it.
Okay, let's do it.
So that was 1 kilometre covered then, just like that, and he was actually backing off towards the top. Do you know what? I've been reviewing cars for 20 years, and nothing has felt like that. So it's like the Tesla for the first like seconds, and then it just keeps on pulling at the same rate, doesn't it?
Yeah. You want to do it again?
Let's just do it again. Let's just do that from 0. Let's just do it again. I'm going to count it in. Ready? 3, 2, 1, go! Oh, it's there. It's like that and then. And oh, bloody hell! It's like how it's accelerating over 100. Whew. So I should point out that on this track there is a speed limit, isn't there? We can't do this car's maximum speed.
Right. Because of the early stage of development.
And also there's a speed limit on Nardo,
Yes.
isn't there?
And also we have a limited speed for the tires because the banking of this circular track, the tires are very heavily impacted by the weight of the car and the banking of the track. And this makes it very difficult for the tires because of heat and wear.
Because these tyres are putting up with so much force, aren't they?
Yes. Here you can see the maximum power we used
614 horsepower.
and the max revs.
Maximum revs was 7,000 RPM from a big 8-litre quad turbo. That's quite high, really, isn't it? For such a big engine. It's a heavy engine. It's like 700 kilos, isn't it, the engine and gearbox? What is the top speed we can do here today?
Actually today we can do 300 kilometers an hour.
We did a max 303. Is this car electronically limited
Yes, it
to
is,
that speed?
yes.
So you're not having to back off and manage it, you just floor it and the limiter comes in and stops you having too much fun. Because this is work, by the way, Christian.
work, yes,
This is
hard
work. I'm working today, it's a Saturday, and we're both hard at work. It's not easy, this motoring journalism or vehicle testing. Can I see what it's like at 300? You may as well accelerate hard to get all the way up there.
We've been at 300 2 times.
Oh, let's do it again though.
Okay.
I can't remember. I forgot. Oh. I love just watching the speedo climb. That is just nuts. Everybody, I just wish you could all experience this. I think everybody should be allowed to experience this once in their life. It's just so easy. I don't feel now that I'm going crazy quick, but we are. We're going so fast. The production car will obviously have more soundproofing, won't it, than this? Whoa! When we went past the photographers, the speed that they just came at us, blimey, this is just brilliant.
This is not all the way up. 300 is like 2/3 of what it's capable of.
That accelerates, so now we're at 200. What happens if you put your foot down now? How does that feel? 200. So from 200, that's 250. And that's 300. Oh my God. Whoa, there's a drone! That was dangerous, that was.
I think they are controlling it, I hope so.
I think. What an amazing car. Thank you very much for taking me out in it.
Yeah.
Really, really good fun. Most of the time though, you're just driving around in circles, aren't you?
No, also on the handling track and on the dynamic platform, we use all the capabilities of Nardo, actually.
So this car will actually be delivered to customers, the road-going version, in 2021, is that right?
I assume so, yes.
Every other car though now is going to seem slow. That is the only problem.
That's the down point.
That is really a problem. Well, there we go. First ever go in a Bugatti in my life, and it's the fastest production car ever made. What a way to lose your Bugatti cherry.